Now we review the 2024 film Humane. A one-word title. How is anybody supposed to find that? Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen probably what I think of as the best film I've seen this year, which is the Caitlin Cronenberg feature, debut directorial feature of Humane. And Humane is a film where the environment has collapsed, and there is a new version of the Paris Accords out there, which basically says every country needs to cull 20% of their population to make resources last. There are flies in here again. I don't know how they get in here. I don't know why they're in here. There's nothing for them to eat in here. Anyway, for me to go any further, let me inform you that for every 1,000 subscribers I do purchase one of these bracelets from the company 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. I, whenever I can afford them, purchase these medals from the Conqueror. Each one of these represents 5 trees that I've planted at a distance I've walked. And of course, we have my World Wildlife Fund frogs here, which I would like to collect more of. So, what we have with Humane, there is a very prominent family headed by a man who was a massive celebrity newsman. You know, he's known for his hard-hitting segments, and he, every week for a 30-year run, said something about the environment. And now he's invited his entire family to his home, or all of his children to his home, in order to inform them that he is enlisting in this program where, you know, the government will pay you $250,000 to die. Right? And this is the thing, is they're trying to reduce the population to stop global warming, to fix the environment. The only way left is to kill people. And it is revealed throughout the course of the movie that, I mean, they've gotten all the illegal immigrants to do it. They've gotten rid of all the people in prison by doing this. And there are many people that are living a much better life because their family members have made the ultimate sacrifice. And then this man and his wife have gotten together and said, you know what? We've lived a good life. The world is falling apart. We want to set an example. And, you know, let's die. And then you get to the point where the bureaucracy gets involved, and the pressure put upon individuals, and human greed, and not love for the environment, but human greed. You watch people fall apart in the condition of, you know, look, this is what happens when your life is at stake. This is how people behave. And people have compared this to The Fall of the House of Usher. I have not personally read that story. I believe it's by Edgar Allan Poe. It is a very famous story. I mean, you'd think with all the reading I do, I'd have read everything by Poe, but it's just not something that's really on my list right now. So, I was working on the Cthulhu mythos. Anyway, so yeah. To give you an idea of how moved I was by this movie, I cried. And I don't mean the normal, 1 or 2 tears. I mean dozens of tears. I had flashbacks to the moment that my father told me to commit suicide in high school. All right? So, yeah, on a certain extent, I'm seeing my own family in this film. And I can tell you that, yes, they are absolutely that wicked, absolutely that evil. And, I mean, I think that if any member of my family currently living thought they could get $1,000 out of killing me and get away with it, they would. So, $250,000? I mean, it's just way too much. But the great thing about this movie is that the characters are very well defined. I will say that every character is reasonably distinct. There are some background thugs, so to speak, some peacekeepers there. But I mean, you've got the man who's trying to get a new lease on life. He was in a car accident, and he killed somebody in that accident, and he's been a drug addict. He's adopted. He's defined by a huge scar on his face. You've got this evil, well-educated D-bag who, he literally went on air and supported the idea that people should be volunteering for this process. And he said, we should take people under the age of 18. My son should be watching this. I hope my son sees this so he understands the severity of the situation. And then his ex-wife calls him and says, your son is crying. Your son thinks you want him dead. Very moving moment for me, because I've lived through that. So, I guess maybe my personal experience are elevating these films. You have the two females. One is an aspiring actress, and she's pretty much the doppelganger of the lesser doppelganger of the drug addict adopted male. And then you've got the successful female. She has a child. I think I've seen her in other things, and I've liked her in other things. She's a very curvy body. She could have been a little more defined as being who she is, but I can tell that, like you have the two basically evils. You have chaotic good, and you've got sort of, chaotic neutral. So these are very well-defined characters in who they are. You've got the, just oozing with evil and the love for his own power man who conducts the culling event itself, the killing. And just when you see his character motivation and the moments with him, they are so lifelike. You can tell that he's a damaged man. He has his reasons, but whereas you can understand his reasoning, you cannot agree with his reasoning. And, not when you get to know these characters, but he sees them as faceless. And it's this statement is a statement about our environment, about our social system, about bureaucracy. There's just so much in here. And yeah, okay, it would be great if someone could make the perfect brain bender of a movie where the psychological terror is real and everybody walks out of that movie and says, gee, we should protect the environment, or gee, we should treat our workers better, or gee, we should have better social equality. But the problem is, okay, all these factors blend together in this modern nightmare. It's like I look at my house, okay? What I need to make my house environmentally friendly is $100,000. Like, well, you could get solar cells. Yes, I could get solar cells. I would have to pay for, or I could get a government grant for a loan. It would make my property value go up most likely. It would be very difficult. But yes, I could get solar cells. But what I really need is a complete remodel of the house. I need to change out all the electrical outlets for more efficient ones. I need better insulation. I need better windows. I need insulation in my walls. I need to make the entire roof a solar roof so that I will bring in the most amount of power and remove the most amount of carbon from our atmosphere. And even if I did that, it still would not make me carbon zero. Okay? It's about money. Yes, okay, if I went out there and I had the power banks and I had the electric car and I did all these things, I still wouldn't be carbon zero. Okay? Because the food I eat, the products I buy, they're all shipped on big diesel trucks. So, yes, in order to be carbon neutral, you have to, practically never buy anything, eat food from your garden, and drive an electric car, but have solar cells on your roof. And yeah, most of the people who cannot get the things done, most people who don't have the money, it's about poverty. If we were all doing pretty well, we'd all be able to protect the environment. But a poor person can't protect the environment because they don't have the money to. They have to worry about putting food on the table for their family. And that is a theme that is underlying to this film. And it's very poignant to me. So now, there is no 100% clear, this is what we think you should do. It simply brings these topics out and displays them before you in all their horrific glory. And yeah, okay, to me, this film is a must watch. I have to say, Humane is a must watch. Sadly, it has left theaters in my area. I don't know if it's in theaters in your area. It's coming to Shudder in July. And, I mean, this is a film you should look up. You should set a reminder on your cell phone or your email account. Say, when this film comes out, I should go see it. Because it is a film about our modern society falling apart. And we all need to remember, yes, things can get that bad. Anyway, it's just my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. I, of course, am Richard. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Barry, the official strawberry poison dart frog of Random Street Theater, and I am here to remind you, of course, that for every 1,000 subscribers Random Street Theater gets, they buy one of these bracelets I'm wearing as a necklace. These bracelets are from the company 4Ocean, and for every one of them that's purchased, a pound of trash is removed from the ocean. Why should you care? Because the world is full of trash, and you shouldn't be part of that. We should all take responsibility, do our part for the environment, and make my home much cleaner. In addition, Random Street Theater has paid for more than 100 trees to be planted. Comment, like, and subscribe. Support a better world for you and a better world for me. I'm Barry.